Hey guys, welcome to our first Ed puzzle for AP Environmental Science. This is going to be an Ed puzzle about poison ivy. So a couple fun facts about poison ivy. Number one, not everybody will get poison ivy. If you are allergic to the oil that's found in the leaves and the stem and the vines of poison ivy, it's called urushiol. It will cause an allergic reaction to that. Same way some people are allergic to bee stings and others are not. Another is that even if you don't get poison ivy now, you could develop a reaction later on. That happened to me. I never got it. I would crawl around in it. And then sometime in my mid-20s, I started getting the rash. A common misconception is that if you are scratching the rash that you have for poison ivy and you break open blisters, you're going to spread it to different parts of your body or maybe to other people. That's not true. That's just basically fluid from your body in those blisters. It is not the oil. It will not spread the poison ivy. If, however, you get poison ivy and then you keep getting it, it might be that you have oil on your shoes or clothes that you wore or a jacket or something like that, because if you don't wash the oil off, then it can just stay there and keep causing more poison ivy. So how do you know what it looks like? It can look really different in different circumstances, but I know some mnemonic devices that can help you identify it. So the first one is leaves of 3, let it be. And you notice right here, 1, 2, 3 leaves, or they're actually leaflets there. And the same here, 1, 2, 3. So you're always going to find it in the groupings of 3 leaflets. Another one is called large middle stem, stay away from them. So if you take a look at this one, notice the 2 side leaflets are connected right at the stem, but the top leaflet, the middle one, has a longer stem that attaches. So they're not all really close to the same point. 2 attach right next to the stem, and 1 kind of has a longer stem there. Another saying is hairy vine, no friend of mine. So this is especially helpful in the winter. If you see vines growing up a tree, and we have lots of vines in Ohio, grapevines and Virginia creeper, but if you see that it has all these red hairs kind of sticking out of it, that's poison ivy, and you can get poison ivy from touching the vines, even if there's no leaves. So here's a younger one with, you can see the hairs attached to that, and again, leaves of 3 there. Berries white, danger in sight. So here's the leaves of 3, the longer stem there, and then these little white berries. Those berries can often stay there over the winter. So again, it can be a nice way to identify poison ivy in the winter. Now, there are some plants that look a lot like poison ivy, including Virginia creeper. So both of these pictures on the left are Virginia creeper. Notice if you count the leaflets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it has 5 leaflets. Same over here. This is often mistaken because people see the red and they think that that's what poison ivy should look like. But this is Virginia creeper. All right. Raspberry and blackberry are a little harder to tell. They have the leaves of 3, and they even kind of have the longer stem in the middle. But if you look closely, they have tiny little thorns, or sometimes the stems will be purplish or bluish. And sometimes they actually have leaves of 5 instead of leaves of 3. So they can be a little tricky though. All right, and as I said, poison ivy can grow in many different forms. Big patches on the ground. So here's some individual where they're just growing as plants on the ground. The leaves can be shiny, especially in the spring with new growth like these. They can be red, they can be green. Sometimes the leaflets look pretty smooth, and other times they seem to have lobes. So they can look a lot of different ways. Keep in mind that poison ivy isn't all bad. Deer and rabbits eat the leaves, and birds often eat the berries, like this woodpecker here. And a couple more pictures. This is a poison ivy vine, the hairy vine, no friend of mine, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna have you guys test yourself by taking the poison ivy ID quiz at the following link. Let me see if I can get rid of that little thing there. So I'll have that link posted on Edpuzzle. Just go ahead and move over to it. It has you just click to see on a picture what's poison ivy, what's not, and we'll see how you do. All right, have a good one.